All right, so let's get started. Thank you all for making it here. The weather is pretty bad, so thanks a lot. So let's get started. What we would do is we would do a collaborative reading from our new book, and here's the book cover, by the way. It's called The-Memorandum, Mo. Typically when Pat and I write together, our books have two titles. One is in English and the other is in Bengali. So the English title is The-Memorandum. The Bengali title is Mo, and it's our second book of bilingual collaborative poetry. And the word Mo is actually, it's written in Bengali, but it's actually the English acronym of the film this book is sourced on, which is Memories of Underdevelopment. And I'll talk a little bit about the film, but before that, I just wanted to mention that just wanted to describe the way Pat and I work. And what we do is typically we pick a film, and both for the first book and this one, Pat got the he normally picks the film, and then what we do is we identify certain themes from the film, and what we use is a sort of thematic extension or a subjective extension from there, and that's how we define the content structure of the poem. So it's one long poem split into several chapters. So now a few words about the film Memories of Underdevelopment. Now this is a 1968 Cuban film made in Cuba, and it's a film of great importance, both cinematic and social importance. And it was a film made by Thomas Alea, who's a very well-known director, and based on a novel by Edmundo Desnovas, who is also a fairly celebrated Cuban novelist. He lives in New York right now. He's about 80 years old. And so the film has been very widely watched and studied, discussed and debated throughout the world over the past 4 decades since its release in 1968. And it's considered to be quite an astral example of serious art house cinema. The film focuses on post-revolutionary Cuba at the time of the Bay of the Pigs invasion and the Cuban Missile Crisis. And it does not quite have a narrative, but it has sort of a loose plot centering on a protagonist who is an upper middle class Cuban intellectual, a little bit drawn, and who is constantly failing to engage in his social life, while thousands of Cubans, including some of his family members, are leaving La Habana. Elsewhere, a condemned art scrap. If they touch you, you lose the sense of it.
Long-standing furniture, high water, in all its platform mark, still, to his glance, manipulative apostles in their simple storefront.
We move on to the next chapter, which is called Blues Subterranean. Underdevelopment, receding waves can just see what is ahead of them. Think of monkeys on a slimy post. The ones at the top see all smiley faces. Playhouse of rubble back up on the tree, we will need a ground-breaking construct, a milieu of mending hands, a cinema of hell.
Like in dreams, and not sit through a second of imperfection, 24 of every hour within the bounds of each bogie, of each car. To what fabric will the threads of these mad partitive wailings of each black frame lead us? I don't know. The fission fungus has spread to such granularity, it's little destruction anymore, rather a migratory moves into mind, with perfumes of its other world, that this uneven dance fades out by eventide, the robbed, burning train is smoke-free at last.
But still, too many specters in the dark theater, broken saplings of an infinite apparition, of which I see some, you some others, to the migratory bird's eye view, rising into what is there, over-illuminating documents weep, and the songs stand up themselves. And the city accommodates a gumball of wires.
Language filmmakers like Jane Campion and Deepa Mehta, etc. He's also acted in Bollywood blockbusters of late, like Guru, Black, Agent Vinod, etc. Dhritiman pursues a parallel career in social communications, advertising, and documentary filmmaking. He's a filmmaker himself.
Intentionally wanted there to be virtually no pause from the end of one poem to the beginning of another. And I found myself, as words collide in your head and they have resonance, I found myself wishing for a few seconds for the last poem to sort of reverberate and die. And you intentionally weren't allowing that to happen. Can you talk about that choice?
I think that we were just trying to give people a sense of the work. I think the type of poetry it is fast-paced, kind of like the cinema it was based on. And I think it was meant to kind of give you a gestalt rather than something that maybe is more contemplative. But certainly it could be read different ways, and at another reading we may read it exactly the way that you propose. Do you have any comment?
I don't have nothing to add.
Yeah, I have to say that, quite frankly, we haven't, while we chosen the pieces we were going to do, we hadn't had a chance to rehearse it or anything. So this business of sort of one flowing into the other, as far as I was concerned, was quite, frankly, quite instinctive. Just let it happen. I suppose it was the actor's ego taking the words.